Hi, this is not a podcast show where I, Jay, invite people who make stuff that I like. In episode number 4, I invite KelbyMG, who quit his job, found Super Pets, and has since done over 3,000 hours in 2.5 years of Super Pets streams. I think that must be a world record. We speak about his first ventures into YouTube and Twitch as a kid, his vision on what keeps Super Pets fun to play and stream, and thoughts on transitioning to new types of content. This episode also contains a lot of my thoughts, so also thanks for listening to me, I guess. Quick channel update. Thanks a lot for all your positive support. And a huge thanks to all the guests who helped me create what I never did before, my own podcast. These 4 conversations were very interesting and a lot of fun, but it's all I've recorded for now. So let's just call this a mini season, and I hope to be back with more interviews as soon as possible. In any case, here's KelbyMG.
People call me KelbyMG. It's like when you call address someone their first and first name, you know. Kelby's first name, MG's the last name. Okay. So Kelby's fine.
Kelby. So welcome, Kelby. Is there a story behind the name?
Not really. I mean, the truth behind the name is it's my name. Like, my name is Kelby. So that's it. The MG, that will be a secret forever. There's been lots of speculation of what it stands for. I think the prevailing theory so far is mega gay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you cannot confirm nor deny this being true.
Nope.
Okay, I can see.
Nope, so. I plead the fifth.
Okay, so no teaser here or no scoop here for the real MG. But
no real scoop. There is a real reason, though. Okay, a very real practical reason. Maybe I'll share it with you after the recording.
Okay.
You get the real tea.
All right. Okay, that's cool. So Kelby is just your real name. Real name, no gimmicks. That's cool.
No, I'm Kelby.
That's cool.
Nice to meet you.
So, can you tell a bit about how you found out about Super Pets?
I found Super Auto Pets because one of my friends, like my lifelong friends, was like, yo, me and my friends are playing this game called Super Auto Pets. You play it with me? I looked at it, I was like, you want me to play this? Like, dude, I was too busy playing Dota at the time. I'm like a big Dota 2 nerd. So looking at that, I'm like, okay, come on. Where's the Screaming Russians, you know? I gave it a go, enjoyed it for like a day or two, and I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to pick this up again. And then, like, a week later, I was like, I kind of want to play Super Auto Pets again. And, like, since that point, I've just keep coming back.
And
it just hooked me.
Yeah, cool. And did you play, started out Arena or Versus?
Versus. I played lobbies with my friends, and that was it. I never really played Arena. I didn't really enjoy it at all.
Yeah, that's funny. That's maybe that's just the circles I'm in, but most people just started out with Arena, but you immediately jumped into Versus. And when was this? Around what part in the Super Pets hype cycle?
It was probably 2.5 years ago, something like that. It was definitely like probably just as the peak finished. I feel.
Yeah.
I wasn't early to it at all.
No.
Like, by the time I got into Super Auto Pets on Twitch, Ludwig had been gone, you know?
Yeah. I think I'm in the same cycle of that. I missed the first super hype cycle, basically, and then started joining. Yep. Maybe, so I'm not a SAP history buff, but I think Versus also was there from the beginning, so that also dates it a little bit.
That wouldn't surprise me, yeah. That wouldn't surprise me for Arena. The async was first. Yeah, that makes sense.
And can you... what made you start also making content on Super Pets? Did you do anything before that?
I mean, throughout my life, I've like always loved YouTube and Twitch, and I've always done YouTube and Twitch in small ways here and there throughout my life. As a child, I had set my iPhone 4 up, recorded my screen, and spoke behind the mic really quietly so my parents don't hear me and stuff like that. I've got random old Skyrim videos or Killzone videos out there, be playing those games on YouTube. I'm never going to let them, see the live day. People will never know what they are, but they're out there.
Under a different channel, I assume.
Different channel, different name, yep. But ancient relics. I used to stream on my PlayStation as well when Fortnite came out. I was like, oh shit, I love Fortnite. Let's stream on Twitch. And it was okay, I had 10 viewers at one point streaming Fortnite for a while, and I was like, oh wow, this is actually pretty sick. But I was just playing on my PlayStation. I had no mic, they had no face cam. I don't even know why people watched, honestly. It was really weird. And then go back to like 2022, I quit my job. 2021, 2022, I quit my job because I just hated it there. Retail environment, bit of a dead end place. Awkward place to be. So I was like, I'm just going to quit. I've got a couple £1,000. I'm just going to coast for a little bit and just find a new job. And like a month into quitting, I was like, I've got this free time and I'm playing games anyway. Let's just start streaming them. I streamed Dota for a while. Nobody watched me play Dota. And then I was introduced to SAP. I was like, oh, I enjoy SAP and I like Versus and I don't really like Arena. So if I stream it, maybe someone will come by and play with me. And like instantly, 10 viewers, 15 viewers, and just started climbing from there and I haven't stopped streaming since. That's it, really.
Yeah, really cool. Actually, quite a cool story to me because, you already did all these smaller, I don't know, experiments. Maybe as a kid, you don't even see them as such. You just do something. Really curious as well about who the Fortnite viewers were. Did you get comments and chat messages, etc. Or
people would chat? Yeah, I think it was because I was pretty decent at the time. I used to play like all the time. The first season I had like 300 solo wins, which is like really good at the time. I think I used to track the leading player on PlayStation. They had like 700, so I was like half of what the leading player had. So that's pretty decent at the time. That was not bad. It was good stats. I was okay at the game.
Yeah, that's
that was
cool.
why people watched.
Yeah, well,
I remember one time the people that watched were people in my PlayStation friends list mainly because they could see the Twitch stream when I'm streaming it. So all these friends I've amassed throughout the years of playing PlayStation games, just online with random people. Man, I remember them. I remember one day, very, very clearly, someone said, wow, that was a fun stream. Will you do it again? And they're like, that stuck out to me. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I'm going to stream again. I'm going to do it again. For sure.
But I can totally understand. That is the cool thing, right? That you do something is one, and then if there's any reaction, even 10 or even 2 people and 1 people really enjoying it, then
it's
I can understand just jumping in and wanting to put more time into it. And for the SEP stream, so you started out streaming Dota on the current Twitch channel, and then you moved to Super Autopets, basically.
Yeah, I play a lot of Dota in my free time. It's like my brain dead game. I just log off, I play a bit of Dota, enjoy the Russians screaming at me.
and the SEP is the brain fool game.
Hours of now it used to be, now it's not. Now it's brain off game, especially when I'm streaming. Like there's so many like auxiliary things I'm thinking about other than SAP. Like my first and foremost thought when I'm streaming SAP is like, yo, let's talk to chat and have a good time, not let's win all my games, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, I did one stream last week or something, just random, also to collect footage, background footage for the for another interview, but also to just experience and make me even more respect the fact that you have to all do all these things at a time. So people who watch, they think, well, that's a misplay, but they don't know that you're like playing 3 or 4 different high-level games at a time in a way.
Yep. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more going on than just the game.
And do you feel this came naturally to you, or is this something you've grown into?
I wasn't like good at it off rip, but I do like being good at things, and I do quite like math and breaking things down. So I think the nature of the game is quite appealing to me. I'm not like inherently good at it. I'm stubborn, and I enjoy lots of aspects of it. So putting the time in to get good at it isn't like an issue for me.
Yeah. And the streaming part?
The streaming part, I just liked that people would watch. I just don't, like, after my last full-time job experience, I was like, I don't really want to work again, because, I mean, I've got, like, no real degrees or anything like that, so going back into work would mean something similar to what I was doing before, most likely. It was either try and make streaming work, make a little bit of money to live by, or hate my life. So I decided, let's try streaming for a bit.
Well, that sounds like at least worth a try if you put it like that. Yeah. So
yeah.
So if you don't mind me asking, so right now this is your only income basically. Well, that's really cool.
Yeah, this is my full-time gig. Yeah, by grace of my parents mainly, letting me live with them. If I wasn't living with my parents, I'd be screwed. But
yes, of course, but still,
fortunate.
it's really cool, and I think if you're in a situation like that every month that you can do this, it's a good month basically.
Oh, every month is a blessing, indeed.
Yeah, and do you remember where So did you do any I don't know promotion? Were you in the SAP Discord streets already when you started the stream, or did people just naturally find your stream, and did you then become part of the community?
I never really like advertised my streams too much in like the main SAP Discord or the dojo. I kind of just streamed in the SAP section every day for like 4 hours at a time, every day, every week, non-stop, and people just like drop by and like. I don't think it was me networking, but it was like viewers networking for me. Like, oh hey, Kelby, have you seen the dojo? Go join the SAP dojo. You can play like competitive SAP there. And then all of a sudden, like other people would come by and watch me because I'm now like, oh, I'm in the dojo. I'm taking part in Team Tour, and other people want to come check out what I'm doing because I'm in Team Tour with them. I don't think I've really actively tried to network in the SAP sphere at all. It's just kind of like happened just by being on Twitch. The SAP dojo I think is very intertwined with Twitch right now, so it's pretty easy to start up on SAP and get a good audience very quickly, I think. It's such a niche community, but super active on Twitch.
Yeah. I think every time I join your stream, I see all the names in the comments. Also becomes just kind of a public square where people join in and out. Yeah. And then you just playing the game in a bit. But that's because I think, you're currently by far the most consistent SAP streamer on Twitch.
For sure.
So I was looking it up. Do you know how many hours you streamed? Or if you had to make a guess? I could do some math.
I'd probably average about 100 a month, and I've streamed for like 2.5 years. What's that? 2,000. So it's probably close to like 3,000, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just little over 3,000 hours. So that's insane to me. That's so cool. Might that's be crazy, the most hours of Super Autopets content on the planet. Who knows? With more than 0 viewers, maybe there's someone just somehow posting all this content without ever getting a view. But
yeah, very possible. I mean, the scary thing about that is like 99% of that is gone, disappeared into the void.
Yeah, void. Only one letter off from VOD, but such difference.
Yeah, and they don't allow that. They said nope, you're only allowed 100 hours of these.
Yeah, so you have no archives of all these old streams.
I've recently started an archive, but like starting like 5 months ago, all gone. Only specific like fun streams I've saved, but from 5 months before that, all these random streams, there's probably like 2,800 hours gone.
Yeah, but maybe that's also part of the type of content, right? Because it's so different from YouTube content because.
For sure.
Yeah, it is part of it that you just join in and join out as an audience, and I think maybe it also
the live format it doesn't really transfer way too well into like long form YouTube videos or anything like that. That's why like almost all VOD channels never get that crazy views. You see like a giant streamer like Northern Lion. He's like the one guy that can probably make like live format straight to YouTube format work.
Yeah,
I don't see too many big streamers make like VOD channels. They get more than like 20,000 views per video, you know?
Yeah, no, I think, but it's also, I think specifically Northern Lion, so I don't know any other streamers, big streamers, I think, apart from him, but he does cut it up in a little bit more manageable chunks, so like half hour.
True.
45 minutes, because it's a tough ask to watch a 5-hour VOD, because the fun part of watching it is the fact that there is interaction, I think, and then to join in late is a bit sad. And also, it's it's very hard to be that consistently funny and active as he is, so that also helps.
Dude, yeah, like no downtime for 5 hours is like so hard.
Yeah. So he is probably better than some people that script their stuff. So that's one part as well.
Oh, for sure. So it's so free flowing for that man.
So you also on and off, I think now on again post to YouTube. Because you're doing both. YouTube. Could you tell a bit about the different experiences of these formats?
I think Twitch is a lot about consistency and not exactly having to plan too much about what you're going to do, especially in the SAP space, because you can kind of just turn it and be like, yo, today we're doing 1v1s, just fight me. yeah, I'm just doing lobbies today, and that format can be like reproduced so easily. On YouTube, I feel like I have to have like a real specific objective. I can't just play a single arena game. It's all about like how you package your video, which is like way more important than it is on Twitch. And I think that's the hardest part. Like the idea, like the premise of the video, and then how you package it. Otherwise, people just aren't going to click. And then if no one's going to click, you're going to get low numbers and you feel really bad about yourself. And that's not nice. I don't like seeing 10 out of 10 and being like, well, I wanted to see confetti with this one. Why is it performing so bad? I think that was my old issue. When I first started YouTube, I just like never uploaded because I was like, okay, I need to make sure this video is perfect. I'd spend 6 months editing, making thumbnail, getting the title right. I'd run it by like 5 people, and then it would do well. It would get a couple thousand views, but at the same time, it's 6 months of like work on top of like streaming. Like, really that worth it for 2,000 views? I don't think so. I try to be less of a perfectionist these days. I think that's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, because somehow for Twitch you don't feel this perfectionism. You just jump in, or do you do any preparation? Do you have any stuff that you think, well, I want to tell this today?
Of course, yeah. Mentally, I have like a list of like talking points and things like that, but I never do too much crazy preparation. Say if I've got like a cool stream idea, like sometimes I'll do like every lobby I lose, I'll drink a pint of milk. That's something I've done a couple times before. It's a silly format, but like I just got to grab a couple pints of milk before stream and sit down. Like it's so easy. It feels like there's like not much prep. But YouTube, I'm like, you have to put so much work in before like the final thing is made. You know, you have to like plan out so much. And Twitch, it's like so off the cuff, which I quite like. I like not being like forced to plan a bunch because I'm not a huge planner.
Yeah, I can totally understand. So I think the just to tell a little bit about myself, my whole concept of trying this YouTube thing when I started was basically limiting the amount of effort I wanted to put in because, I had the same. When it's too long a project, then it hurts way more when it bombs, and I think I'm somehow maybe that's every creative person has this, but I'm somehow a perfectionist both, and then the most laziest person on earth. So you have to find a way to get something out in the world between these two things. And then so the reason for me was just keeping the focus on volume, basically focus on quantity, and then hopefully either grow the audience a bit naturally and also grow the quality just by virtue of putting in hours, and maybe of course watching back a bit and think, well, maybe I could improve this, maybe I could improve that. But I try to watch back like not my first, but maybe my 5th video and compare it with my 80th video, and it's hard to judge yourself, but I don't think the difference in quality is that high, but still mostly I was just focusing on finding a low effort. Well, that's not the best way to put it, but yeah, well, it is like that.
I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
So maybe
a lot of the effort's done in like the pre-production rather than like actually running anything post.
Yeah. So also I think my threshold is, well, I want if I put an hour of work in it, I want to have at least an hour of view time, basically, because otherwise. Then I call it a success, basically, because otherwise I could have just talked with somebody for an hour, and I had an hour of view time with an hour of effort. So the full YouTube edited style content. Well, I think now your recent videos, I don't know how much effort you still put in, because I think already collecting the footage is some work, but it feels like a bit more a middle way where you both just use footage you have and then put a spin on it in the edit.
Yeah, indeed. I used to like all my content almost used to be like tailor-made for YouTube. I used to record off stream, and then I'd edit heavily, like a whole 30-second intro completely edited, like animated, and then I'd like cut up all of the gameplay and add edits in the whole gameplay as well. And I think it was good, but it's like not sustainable because it just takes so long to do, especially in a niche of SAP where like the ceiling is like pretty low. It's pretty low. Unless you're SAG, you're not getting that many more views over like 2,000, really. Because the average SAP video just doesn't appeal to the mainstream audience. There's only a few SAP videos that do. A good example, people like John Bez, second Rock on the Moon. The one that's like, I complete the hardest challenge in Super Auto Pets. Things like that. Something that'll have like mass appeal is like super hard to come by. So I think I got to the point where like, well, in the SAP niche, the reason no one's doing videos like this is because there's no need. Like, people just want to watch the gameplay. And if you're like at least partly personable behind it, I think people will watch. I think that's the key in this niche. So that's what I started to do. I just made like shorter intros, started posting the gameplay and just yapping. That's mainly it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this format, but you're right that I think there's a very low ceiling right now, unless the game somehow pops off again, then you're just limited to the diehard Super Auto Pets fans. But I really like this format, and I think only streamers can make this, because you somehow switch between yourself, and somehow it really makes me it's a format I really like, that you're basically speaking as a voiceover, and then get the real life footage as well. So really like that format. And but that was the other thing I said. Exactly that example of, I think it's only one video that basically, I don't know, escaped containment, and the comments this 150k or 100k view video are all also like, I don't even know this game, but I'm fully invested, this kind of stuff. So somehow then with the 50% luck and 50% skill and whatever, you make a video that's so good that people can enjoy it without understanding the game or something. And then my pet peeve, I probably also said this in previous episodes, is there must be a huge audience that has kind of forgotten about the game, but still has played it at the height, because these Northern Lion VODs also got hundreds of thousands of views. So there's a lot of people. So somehow I think there would be a possibility of reaching this huge audience, and the way to do it would be with a little bit more high effort content, I'd say, and not with just a general, I made a fun build, which is only interested if you know exactly all abilities of all the pets, and also what has been done before and what hasn't. And that's basically my content, which I enjoy, but I can understand that there's zero chance of that breaking containment like that if there's no story or whatever behind.
Yeah, there's a very small ceiling on that. I get you. I mean, I used to take YouTube videos very seriously. Like, I have a Word document. I'd be like, target audience, existing and new players. And then that would be like something I'd find like really hard to balance. Because if you make something like appealing to new players, a lot of the people that already know the game aren't going to sit there and listen to you explain what this pet does, because they already fucking know. Yeah. Which instantly impacts how well the video does, because they're the people that are going to watch it first, the existing players. So like, if you can't please existing players, you're not going to get any new players to watch the video. So it's like so hard to balance it all.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool to hear that you actually put so much thought in it as well, I think. So do you enjoy this process, also the die-hard editing stuff, even if it doesn't get the success, or is it just you want to make a good end result and then you basically suffer through it?
It's a bit of both. I enjoy like lots of parts of editing. Like, I like making cool animations and cool videos. I like making things that I'm proud of. There's many videos on my channel I like watch it back, I'm like, wow, I made that. That's cool. I'm very happy that I made that. I don't care it got 300 views. I'm happy with this video. But in the moment, I'm like, fuck, I've got to fucking sit down and edit for 6 hours today. Oh my God, what's happening to me? It's just trying to balance that, trying to get in that habit. I think one day, hopefully, the views go up and it all feels worth it. But I feel like the issue with the views is it never feels like enough, right?
Yeah, that is a tough part, I think. And maybe also very personal, because of course it's fun. It becomes a game in and of itself, like a numbers go up game. Hopefully numbers go up, and then there's...
Dude, I love number go up game. Yeah, I love that.
And they actually
makes you feel so good.
Yeah, they actually at the beginning at least of this YouTube, they also give you achievements, etc. Maybe I've just slowed down too much to stay in the steady stream of this cool achievements for staying in this niche that's just too small to grow, basically. And also me not wanting to be consistent, because I think that's always at least one part is being consistent. Also on YouTube. maybe because the algorithm likes it, maybe just because, I don't know, you put yourself out there. So
I think it's a lot of that.
So what? So you played the game now for more than 2.5 years. What makes it still fun for you?
I've noticed the game becomes way less fun when I don't join tournaments like Team Tour. I don't know if you know of Team Tour.
I do, probably but you can explain it shortly, maybe.
It's just like a team-based long-form tournament. So you have like 9 people on a team. And then every week you have one matchup, so you play one person from another team.
Yeah. Like
everyone does that on your team.
Almost.
Yeah. Exactly. Like a season, yeah. There's a whole season of Team Tour. It's just so much fun when it's competitive and there's also people around you that want to play. Whenever I skip a season of Team Tour, a season of tournaments, I'm just like, I don't want to play this game that much. I feel like I've got no real drive to play. I'm kind of playing it for the sake of playing it. Whereas when I'm in Team Tour, I'm like, okay, well, I've got a reason to play. Like, I need to be good, right? There's people depending on me. I think that's the main thing keeping me in now, which feels kind of bad. But at the same time, I have so much fun doing it, so I don't feel terrible about it.
Yeah. I think the positive side is that what makes it fun is maybe the competition, but also the community in a way, right? Because you are in a team. It's somehow
sure.
I don't know who thought this all out, but they somehow made a format where you play a game which is in its basics a 1v1 game. They made it into a team-based format, which I think enhances this part of the
For sure.
experience.
100%. Yeah, I mean, there's like 140 people in this current tournament, so it's definitely doing something right.
Yeah, and I think it's growing slowly, right? This Team Tour still.
Yeah, which is crazy because the SAP audience as a whole, the SAP player base as a whole is shrinking, like undoubtedly. So the Team Tour getting bigger each time, each iteration is very interesting. That people are slowly funneling their way through to find like more ways to play this game, despite the main player base kind of starting to dwindle.
Yeah. So this is maybe my game dev nerd side speaking. So I don't play a lot of versus, and I know exactly why. Also, I think in short is I really like the fact that I'm not time restricted. So I just want to play it on my couch, super other pets, and then I can just walk away for a minute. And the fact that there's a clock ticking ruins that part of me. And secondly, I think that's the part that people really enjoy about it, and I don't like it, is that I have to think about positioning, which I think is about 50% of the fun and the skill of versus, maybe more. But for me, then I have to do math, and then it stops being a fun brain dead game for me. What was my question? So yeah, can you tell a bit about more why is it a good competitive game, basically, or is it a good competitive game?
Is it a good competitive game? That's a tough one because there is so much RNG involved. If the best players in the world played like a best of 5, the chances are the person that wins is the person that has the better chops. Like, because the 2 best people in the world, like their skill difference isn't that much. Like they're so close, it just comes down to shops pretty much. It's like, unless they play like a best of 100, if they play a best of 100, sure. With enough games, the best person will come out on top. But unfortunately, like with the sample size that we all play the game, it's very RNG dependent. But I believe there is enough skill variance to make it a good competitive game, especially at the size that it is. If this game was any bigger, it would be hard to be competitive, I feel. Because there'll be so many good players.
Yeah.
There'll just be so many bad players. And you'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm just bad.
So why would that make it less fun? Because you're always playing at people against very similar skill, and then it's just all randomness.
Currently, like I feel like the skill pool is very similar right now. Because if you go to Team Tour, like the 9th seeds, which is the worst people in Team Tour, they're so much better than they were a year ago. Like 10 times better. Like the average 9th seed these days would probably beat the average like 3 seed a year ago. Which is crazy to think that in a year's time we've all just got that good. And as a community, everyone's just that good. I just think the bigger it is, the more everyone would say it's reliant on RNG and not be interested anymore.
Yeah. So maybe
sometimes it does feel like, shit, I've just got bad shops.
Yeah. So do you think there's kind of like a skill ceiling or something where it's really hard to if everybody would study for or play or for a year, then everybody would just make the exact same choices always, and then maybe just getting to the ceiling, or do you think there's
I don't
always
know if
room
it's.
for somebody to be still better than so the number one being better than the number 10? I don't know.
I mean, currently now the people at the top, like the top like three, are probably like arguably like much better than everyone below. But there's never really been like multiple people in like the dozens that are around the same skill level right at the top. It's always been like one guy. Mm-hmm. There's always been one guy. It's always been like Kyogre, who's just like, he is that guy. Somehow he just has like such a command over the game. RNG be damned. Or like XRB. There's always just one person at that time. You're like, okay, why is this guy so good and everyone else just doesn't even compare, despite them being, there's like 18 one seeds. Mm-hmm. But the variance between the best one seed and the worst one seed is like, there's like a 10 times difference, you know? Yeah. Like, there's a one seed that'll beat the worst one seed every single time. Which is weird. It's scary.
Any idea how what the difference is?
I mean, aside from just saying skill issue, it's like just running reps, understanding the patterns, and positioning. It's like, basically, it's just maths, right? So, like everything, SAP is just a giant math equation, and then positioning. Like understanding what your opponent's going to do, as well as like using math to understand how to make the best board possible with the shops you've had.
Mm-hmm. So these number one players or top 0.1% players basically know more patterns, better predict what the opponent probably is going to do in the next turn, and then maybe are quicker in doing all these calculations that help maybe find the odds. So I was speaking with Rev GT as well, because he has this also a lot of versus experience as far as I know, and also we started to try to position it somewhere between chess and I don't know, a full random game, and then so it is also the skills needed are I think between these two things. Maybe also a mental aspect. Maybe these top guys also are just not annoyed important. Because with this randomness. So I'm following poker the highest levels quite closely, because I also enjoy that sport game, whatever, and it has many similarities, I think, also in that part, and the fact that in the over 100 runs, well, with poker it's even worse. You need thousands, millions of hands to grind out the variance, basically. I think with SEP in the current state, well, even in a best of 7, the number one should almost always win, right? From a 1 seed, from I don't know, a 4 seed. So it's still, but that I think with numbers would change, because if 100,000 people would play versus, then these the variance would become higher, basically, because the skill differences are
for sure
smaller. So do you ever, because I assume the fact that you're a content creator eats into your SEP skill level a bit. Do you all? Is that true? And if so, do you ever dream of getting your full SEP potential out by not putting some energy into the content part?
I mean, I've got no real drive to be the best SAP player in the world. I enjoy playing SAP a lot, and I have fun being good, but I don't have the idea that I'll ever be the best. And I think if I didn't make content, I wouldn't play SAP as much anyway. So it's like, I don't really have one without the other.
Yeah.
So I've kind of got to just balance it. I have fun playing it brain dead, and I have fun playing competitively. And if I don't play competitively, I don't have fun playing brain dead. And if I don't play brain dead, I'm not going to really get that much better competitively. So I'm like, it just is what it is. I just enjoy it. And I think that's the main thing. That's the main thing that keeps me in SAP.
Yeah,
which is why it stresses me out when they don't make good updates.
Yeah. But that's kind of funny, because then now I'm kind of starting to, I don't know, maybe a bit too early, see a pattern where it's the same with you play SEP because you make content because you play SAP, and somehow this all makes the combination fun basically, and it could not work one without the other.
Exactly.
So, do you have any? So I don't know if you had unlimited budget or time or anything. What would there be a big project or a big change you would make in your content? Anything you dream of but you just don't do because it's out of reach?
I mean, honestly, of course, streaming for like 3 years, I want to do things more than just SAP. But being a SAP streamer, you are pretty much confined into that SAP niche for quite a while. And to break out, you have to do a lot of work. So that's something you got to slowly work on. Unlimited budget, I would probably do a lot more IRL streams because recently I went to America, which is awesome. Stream somehow fucking paid for that. I done a subathon, got enough money to make a trip to America. And I done IRL streams there, and that was so much fun. So much fun. I love like IRL streaming. So I think if I had an unlimited budget, I would love to travel more, do more IRL streams, meet people. That'd be awesome.
And do you with regard to view numbers, is this IRL stream also working? I assume so, right? Because I somehow missed this. Maybe I was on vacation myself, or but I would I also love this IRL stuff a lot.
I was less active that time. I done like 3 IRL streams when I was in America, and the views for all of them were higher than they would be if I just played a different game.
Oh,
and I think they're probably
that's good.
on
That's
par.
a fair comparison, yeah.
Yeah, and on a good day, they're on par with normal streams, so I can't complain at all. I mean, one stream was at a zoo, and like, views aside, that was like the most fun I've ever had streaming. Like, full stop. That's my favorite stream ever. It was just that much fun. It was an amazing time. I streamed Disneyland. I went to Disney World. So we done that stream. That hit like 50. So 50 viewers for an IRL stream for me. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't think people would come to watch this. So
yeah, somehow this IRL stuff it's so exciting. Somehow it's both boring and exciting, but there's always something that could happen. And for me, it's always just fun to get a feel for some place where you maybe never have been, and the fact that it's unedited and unscripted really enhances this.
Yeah, dude, one of my favorite streamers is Extra Emily because she's like just one of the best at IRL streaming.
Yeah, cool.
She's
so
so
that could be a cool transition. And now I'm thinking, is that also really rare? I think that these kind of streamers have VODs or edited content that do really well. Of course, they have always the surprising clips, which basically you're also fishing for interesting moments. But
yeah, clips are definitely how they drive engagement for sure. How they drive discovery. You never really see an IRL streamer that has like really good edited content on YouTube.
Yeah, it's tough. Maybe it's just in general tough to do multiple parts of forms of content, basically, or transition. It
is
at least to juggle both at the same time. I think if you do it for maybe not for the views, but at least semi-seriously, then it's really tough to do it well.
Agreed. It is not easy to do it well.
Yeah, so I'm also now Scooty. I think you know him or know of him. So I'm also just as an aside still struggling who my audience is going to be for this listening and what I have to explain, what I don't. But well, he was I think also a kind of full-time Super Autopet streamer who now just transitions to different games, and I think somehow his videos of those streams got reached a huge audience, even though his stream numbers died. Yeah. So maybe I also try to get him on the podcast as well. That would be a lot of fun.
He might be willing. He might be willing.
Yeah, I think it could be just a nice reach for my size of this project. So that would be.
I don't think that makes too much of an impact. Don't worry. I don't think people are like, first, how many subscribers you got? I don't think he'll ever be like that. Don't worry.
There's maybe a size where people get this question every day 10 times. So if I would now DM Northern Lion, I think, I'll just go back in line and he just does what he enjoys.
That's fair enough.
but maybe that's the size that they don't get these questions every day, maybe.
I think Scooty's the sort of guy that does keep to himself in that sort of space. So I think there's a chance.
Yeah,
I won't write it off at all.
Yeah. So that's also part of my project with this podcast, just manifesting the next guest. So also putting it out
Is that
there.
a goal?
Maybe I forgot in some, but I do it every time. Teamwood. I just put it out in the world. Teamwood, Arkuni. That they should be on my podcast. That basically my end goal, to be honest.
For sure. Dude, honestly, I've been thinking the same. No. How dare you?
Yeah.
No, I don't care at all. No, I'm with you, dude. I want to speak to Teamwood.
Yeah.
Because for so long, I'm like, I want there to be different updates to SAP.
Yeah.
You're gonna get.
That's my next question.
You're gonna get.
This is your time to say everything.
I'm here. You're gonna get my make SAP great again spiel. Are you ready?
Yes.
Basically, for the longest time, the bulk of their updates has been new pets. And I don't think new pets is what the game needs anymore. I think new pets is cool and all. It's fun. But unfortunately increases the barrier for entry and also makes it like harder for existing players to keep up with the game. So they end up leaving. So I think they just need to introduce some updates that are like cosmetic updates, some quality of life updates, some things to make the grind more fun. Because currently, it's not that fun if you're just grinding arena unless you just enjoy the loop, you know? That's the bulk of my spiel, and I'm doing a massive write-up for the SAP Discord soon, just so they can
cool.
hear all this.
Yeah. So
I'm very passionate about it.
If you already want to share something, this is your chance to already. Maybe we can workshop it a bit. So,
Yeah.
Because I'm interested about this topic, and somehow every content creator is working on this in the back of their head. How can we improve or save Super Auto pets? Because we love the game and we also know. But to I don't know, defend the situation where Teamwood is in. Not everybody's solution is the same or even could be combined. So that's of course their tough battle. But from your side, so what would you propose to improve the game? Maybe for you, but also to improve the player base.
I think a big thing would be like a cosmetic overhaul, because I think the way the cosmetics work right now sucks. Just meeting a snack threshold and then getting a cosmetic from the pool of like 100 or 20 or 200 just isn't nice. It's not fun or rewarding at all. I think there should be a rotating shop. It's like every week the shop changes. You can buy different cosmetics with snacks, and I feel like SAP have a big money issue, in the form that their model is just new pets equal more money. And switching to a more cosmetics equals more money model would probably be way better for the game. So I feel like as a whole, players, gamers as a whole, definitely receive microtransactions way better when they don't affect gameplay. And new packs, that's just like locking off parts of the game because they haven't spent the money. So I think moving to a model where it's like, you can purchase snacks with money and then just buy new cosmetics from a rotating shop with snacks, probably better for the game. That's one of my ideas.
And for the quality of life stuff, specifically for versus, maybe any?
Next opponent. So next opponent doc at the top right, it shows what team's next, but it doesn't show their name or their health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like you have to click the arrow, go back in and like look at the board, see how much health they've got. Lila, shut up. She feels passionate about it as well.
Yeah, I can understand.
I don't know why it just doesn't say the health there, like 3 HP.
There's even, I feel like this is just somehow a multiple update oversight, because there's even space for it, right?
There's literally space for it. Yeah, you're right. The box there is there, and they've got like this giant, half of it is like empty.
Yeah.
Like they were like, oh yeah, we'll put this here another time, and just never got round to it.
Yeah. And for any... so if you have way more wild options for improving the maybe just the versus or competitive side of the game, any ideas come to mind?
I think there should be ranked seasons. I don't think it should be like the same leaderboard forever, because then people populate the top and then stop playing the game. Because if you look at the leaderboard, it basically never changes. There's probably 5 to 10 people that change on the leaderboard because they continue to play the game. The rest of them play the game once a week to stop elo decay. I don't think that's good for the game at all. Like, it makes it so hard for other people to climb. And then, like, if you're sitting at the top of the leaderboard, what are you going to do? You're going to make an alt account. You're going to start at 1,500, and then you're going to bully a bunch of other 1,500s. Because you're actually a leaderboard gamer. So I think it's probably good to introduce ranked seasons, add like milestones within the ranks, like 1,600 you're an iron player, 1,700 you're a gold player, things like that, and then add rewards for that, cosmetic rewards or snack rewards to incentivize people to play ranked
per season maybe. So the season just meaning that the ranks get fully reset, or maybe at least decayed to some thresholds.
Reset. Exactly, to a threshold most likely, because if everyone resets to 1,500, it's going to be hell for a few weeks while everyone's sorting it out. So most likely, like, say if you reach 2,000 elo, the lowest you can drop is 1,800 or something like that, or like 1,700.
I think these things are maybe not solved, but at least there are many different examples in different games how they do this nicely.
Exactly, like there's millions of games out there who have not solved, but definitely have way better systems that are in place here. I think it's all well and good saying all these updates. I think it's literally main issue is having the manpower. I think there's only a few devs behind this game.
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to prioritize these things that don't inherently bring in money. So.
Yeah, that might be true. Yeah, I think that's a difficult part for them as well. That they have to make kind of a big gamble that it pays off in the long term, money wise. I think as from a distance, I think they're still passionate about the game. So they maybe it's. I think it's good, or at least to provide this feedback and write it down nicely. There's one,
I agree,
or two maybe podcasts interviews in the depth of YouTube with Arkuni from years ago, and there he mentioned. He really likes the high effort, long form feedback. Not sure if he still enjoys it, but at that point in time, he preferred that over.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
And I had Grounded on the podcast, who I think had over 15 or 20 Google Docs already sent over his lifetime. So just
dude, I love Grounded. He's that sounds just like Grounded.
Yeah, and
that's what I expect from that man.
And I think that these are all highly edited as well. I think that he still leaves out stuff and really thinks about that it's not too much, because there's a couple of, well, I think a decent group of people very passionate about the game. So it would be cool to to have maybe a bit more. Input from how it looks from their side, maybe. So that's why I think it would be very cool to get these guys on. And my, I don't know. I'll just gonna say it. I think I would be a good person, because I also have some programming and business experience as well. So I can also try to view it from their side. And it would be for me just very interesting to hear their.
I mean, you're passionate about the game.
Yes, definitely.
So, I think that's the main thing. That's like step one. Do you like the game?
Yeah.
That is step one. Yeah. I think we could all check that box, very much so. I know. Updates, I'm excited for the new Danger Pack, don't get me wrong. I'm excited when there's new pets. Another part of me is just like, well, I just hope it's not like the Unicorn Pack update. I don't know if you're around for when Unicorn Pack dropped, but they dropped it cold and didn't do that much testing by the looks of it, so it was so broken.
Yeah.
And everyone stopped playing the game for a while. They're like, there's no point playing at the moment. Everyone just runs the cheese in Pack 5, in Unicorn Pack, so I'm just not going to play. Yeah. And I think that like really negatively impacted it for a while. So I think if they drop a new pack, they have to make sure it's very well balanced.
Yeah, but that is also from a versus perspective, I think, because maybe in arena as well, it's of course always bad when it's unbalanced, because then it's really hard to find out different lines but I think in versus this is way worse. Also, if you play
definitely way worse in versus. Definitely relevant in arena as well, though, because if you play like arena versus all packs, you can run into a pack 5 team that would just destroy yours. Like no matter whatever turn it was, the Unicorn Pack was just way better. And then also, if you look at it from like the vacuum of like Unicorn versus Unicorn, if you don't go these cheese builds, you're just going to lose to the cheese build. So like, what's the point in playing this pack right now unless you just go cheese builds?
It's very, very tough now that I think about, for them to not only make a pack that's balanced or has multiple valid lines against itself, but then also has to fit in between all these other packs. So it's also and I don't know, the combinatorics or whatever explode with every new pet and every new pack. So they really make it hard for themselves.
They're making it harder for themselves. Exactly.
They might be over 500
and then customs.
pets. Yeah. Then exactly.
There's like 350 pets right now, I think.
And then people are complaining about that their part is not balanced, and somehow these things can also be, I don't know, opposed to each other. So what's good for versus often is in the same direction of what's good for arena, but not always. So sometimes these pets are really disruptive in versus and not at all in arena, or the other way around. So that's maybe
Agreed.
That's probably there's an essay somewhere about how to solve that problem, split up these pets, but that's also very scary, because splitting up the pool of games or then making pets have different nuances in versus arena is also a very tough thing to cross. I think
their answer to that was like they swap a lot of pets out from the static packs and put them into customs only, like Raccoon, for example. Raccoon used to be a part of like pack 2, was it? Puppy pack. But because it was just so good in versus, they were like, no, we'll just make it custom only, so it can only be played in arena, which I think is a fair decision to make. I think overall, SAP is the most balanced it's ever been right now. Like, it's never been more balanced. And I think they
for
can leave
versus
it right
more
now.
than arena. There's a couple of very oppressive strategies in arena, but
that's because they spam out so many pets, and it's like impossible to balance arena.
But it's cool, and I think it's important. I think this versus community or versus part of the game might have more longevity than arena, but also very hard to. So maybe that's something they I think it's very hard to get into, even harder than the game in general. So if people are somehow finding the fact that there is a team tour, how the peep do you even know that there's such a thing as team tour if you're just randomly downloading this funny looking pet? So
you have to be really into the game to find it. Like, if you're not joining the Discord, the Super Auto Pets main cord, and then looking at stream events, you're never going to find it. If you're not watching like YouTube videos of people talking about it, you're not going to find it. If you're not watching Twitch, you're not going to find it. If you just casually play the game, you'll never ever find Team Tour. Never.
No. And maybe that's, of course, it's still never going to be for everyone. I really have no idea how big the, I don't know, casual audience is. Might be way bigger than we think.
It's way bigger than the versus audience, for sure. Like, the people that are in the dojo are definitely the minority of the people that play this game. Yeah. So maybe one way to quantify this is just see, because if I play arena turtle pack, then I see many different names, and if I play arena, there's a couple of names that I 100% know that I will face this run. So that says something about the player base for these different things. You play Star Pack Arena, you're going to run into the same 5 people every time.
Yeah, it's even worse in the paid packs, basically. Yeah.
Yep. And I think that's where updates that don't involve the other packs or new packs are just really good for the casual audience as well. Like, if you're a casual player and earning cosmetics is way more rewarding, you're probably going to play a lot more and be more interested in the game.
Yeah. And in your, I don't know, just in your plan, would you just, I don't know, give away or make all the pets, so all the, I don't know, the game content free? Maybe just ignoring the transition period where maybe people are always going to be mad, but people are going to be mad that they paid for something which is now free.
See, that's a really tough subject. I think, one, you'll have to continue with the paid model and like keep all the packs that are currently out to be paid for. Maybe you could reduce the prices a little bit, and then all the future packs are free. But I think it's really tough to go back on that, because the cat's already out of the bag. I mean, maybe they could do this thing where if the snacks do become purchasable, say if you bought the puppy pack, you now get this amount of snacks, because that's how many snacks the money would have bought you.
Oh yeah. But I think probably the people who spend that money also already have all cosmetics or are very close. So the At least,
Exactly.
but maybe that I'm not
Exactly.
the target audience in general because I don't care much about these cosmetics. But most of them will already have the maxed out cookie stack.
I mean, I do, and I don't even play Arena that much. The only reason I got maxed out snacks is because I played Versus, and Versus started giving out snacks.
Oh yeah. I was thinking you didn't play that much. 3,000 hours is not that shabby. But there was a time where you didn't get any snacks for Versus.
Yep.
Also,
Yep. No snacks for Versus.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Horrible time. Horrible time.
You had to be so hungry all the time as a Versus player.
Yeah. Oh, starving. Ravenous.
Yeah.
No cosmetics.
No.
I'm going to say, though, the cosmetic updates they have dropped have been good. Like, the mascots are so awesome. I think the mascots are so sick. They should add more mascots. I think just keep adding more cosmetics and then just, like, let us buy more. Let people spend more. Because there's people that don't spend that much time in the game that would want to purchase these cosmetics with real money.
Yeah, probably. I think there's always going to be,
sure.
people who would love to spend more, basically, just to support the game even. So we as content creators, of course, get a lot of of value out of this game. And it's, some people give away packs as a way to, I don't know, support the game.
I spent like $300, $400 on this game.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, but for such if you have 3,000 hours in Fortnite, you probably would have spent more.
I've spent more on SAP.
Yeah, that's good.
I've spent more on SAP.
Very very thumbnail worthy statement. I spent more on SAP than Fortnite.
I played a lot of Fortnite. Fortnite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, very sad, but yeah, I spent so much money on this game. Just like buying packs for other people is the main way I spend money on this game. I've probably spent like $300 on just buying packs for other people at this point.
Yeah, but it's good that they added that. I think it will also probably be very niche, but it is good just as a way to have the option to spend money. And I think it still it surprises me sometimes because but I got introduced slowly, so I just. When a new pack comes out, it's like $10 for another year of fun. But there's many people who still are very active players who don't have all the packs. So it's also very nice for the community, I think. That
for sure. I think it's such a simple game, and a lot of the audience also just isn't like old enough to have their own money to buy these sort of these packs. So it definitely helps.
Yeah, that's something I tend to forget. I think that. I'm in a situation where $10 is not really something I think about for very long. But of course, if you're 15 or 16 or whatever, then it becomes a very different story as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. So let me quickly check if there's anything. Do you have anything you want to share or any questions or anything? Because, well, of course, you are already speaking to this same mic for hours on, so it's different than the YouTube guys, but still.
I talk way too much. You don't want to tell me to keep speaking.
Yeah.
I might say something you regret. No, I think we even spoke about your goals, for this.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd want to any goals you're also trying to achieve?
Well,
in regards to YouTube?
So my main motivation, I think, for all these creative stuff is to see what happens, basically. To just do it and see what happens. So somehow it's
Who
always...
knows?
Yeah. So just to learn, basically. So of course it's cool to get high numbers, and that's I wouldn't do it maybe if there's not like a 0.1% chance of I don't know making money or getting huge numbers. But mostly I enjoy the process, and as long as I get some reactions, I think it's cool. And I'm not the guy to do something. The same thing for a long time, so I kind of got bored a bit. I get bored maybe quite quickly, because then I think, well, if I would continue posting the same content daily for a year, I have a kind of feeling what would happen, and then I don't feel motivated to do it, even though I might be wrong and might be optimistic or might be pessimistic. But then it's time to change it up, basically, for me, because then I feel like, it's similar to the game. So you have to find a way to so what are the cookies and the cosmetics and the unlockables. So that's why I was really when I came up with this. Well, it could be always been cool, I think, to try out podcasting. So then I thought, well, I could maybe do like a bridge, so not start fully from scratch, but then combine the one thing with the new thing, and then see how it jumps off. So maybe it becomes the new thing. Yeah. So now I learn about how much effort it is, how much fun it is, how much... So as we record this, there's not yet a single episode released. So shortly I will know how much people are willing to watch it, and who knows, maybe in a couple of years I'm still doing this, because I think there's a lot of variation just from the fact, just like with streaming, there's automatically built-in variation, I think, because a different day, different people join, basically, and then with this podcast, the guests create the variation, basically. So even if my interests change, I can just try to find people from different interests, and then hopefully there's enough people that just want to listen, so that it doesn't feel fully, I don't know, it will never be a waste of time. I think it's the same as we discussed in the beginning, but it does, it is a part of it, the fact that you get some response back. So no goals. And also for me to earn money or to live off of it. So it has to compete basically with stuff that does make money. I'm very flexible in my time because I'm self-employed. So I also sometimes have to hold myself back to spend more time on this thing where I basically see zero path to being it worth it for the money. I think then I had to do a very different podcast. So maybe I'll put enough reps, and then I'll start a new channel again and just do, I don't know, the money hustle podcast, and bring in the big bucks.
Start selling crypto, yeah?
Yeah.
Start selling crypto.
Sell out,
Sap coin, baby.
Well, but to be honest, if I think it's hard to transition from this podcast directly into that, but I would love to do a similar type of content, but with founders and entrepreneurs and startup people, because I have I think at least the same interest as I have for Super Auto Pets, I have into this kind of stuff, and probably a way easier way, or at least a bit clearer path to monetization, I think. So so
I get you. I mean, even if you don't think this right here inherently is going to blow up and do amazing, it's like running the reps. You're getting a lot of experience and knowledge and how to do this better next time, wherever you do find like the perfect formula, you know?
Yeah, that's
I like that.
Yeah, that's a very.
And I'm with you, dude.
Good
I'm
summary.
doing the same thing.
Yeah. So
I'm doing the same thing with Sap.
I was wondering, so if I would now somehow get the opportunity to do a podcast with a very big, famous person, then I would probably ruin the opportunity a bit. So now. At least now, like you say, I have the reps, and then next time I do something, I will take all the experience with me. So that's basically how I. And I find it really cool that you spoke about that you already started from a young age with random projects, random content, because that's very similar to me, and I also make a habit out of it to start a new name and a new channel and a new life and a new day, etc. I somehow I think maybe one time I will be big enough that people very easily connect all these things, because I don't really try hard to make it impossible to find out every I don't know thing I've worked on there. So I think one more question is a bit of a corny one, but I think still interesting, is what do you see yourself do in 5 years with the game, with streaming?
It is a corny one, but it's actually a very common one, right? 5 years. I mean, the hope would be to still be streaming and of course be, more viable than it is now. Because who knows what like real life things are going to happen in 5 years. And if I don't have this figured out in 5 years, I don't know. I don't see myself playing SAP every day in 5 years' time. That's for sure.
There will be another 6,000 hours.
By my choice, I'm at 5,500 hours right now in Super Auto Pets. So, yeah. I definitely see myself playing SAP. Probably doing more variety content. And definitely more YouTube. Like, unfortunately, in the world of Twitch, you have to do YouTube. Otherwise, you don't really grow. Mm-hmm. Which is, or TikTok or Instagram, whatever. You have to have some sort of, like, mode of discoverability. And Twitch ain't it right now. Twitch ain't it. So most likely, whether it's, like, less streaming and more YouTube, that's probably what I see myself doing. Less streaming, more YouTube.
Yeah.
That's probably what it'll end up being.
Yeah.
And less SAP.
Less SAP, yeah.
Worst case... I'll probably just be like working a minimum wage job again. Worst case.
It's always the backup plan. But
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
yeah, I hope the best that it works out, that it grows enough that
Thank
you
you.
can just keep doing it, because I think you have the just I don't know, the natural character that makes it interesting. I think the what you how did you call it, personability, but personality as well. I think, but it's hard to break this SAP bubble. I think to grow bigger
It is.
to a point where you get bigger numbers basically. So
Very hard.
Maybe I don't know if that's even the point of this podcast, but my thought would be somehow combine both these things. So keep what you got, and then also do some shots in different directions to see what takes off, because it's hard to transition. That's one thing that I think I learned already in my short YouTube career. It's really hard to transition a channel to something else. It might be even hopefully, because that's my strategy, easier to start something fresh and try to build that up. But so very, very interesting to hear. I think that's it's been very interesting to hear about your thing. So anything? Oh yeah, that's of course the final question. So is where can people find you? Any shout outs? Any last stuff you want to mention?
I've got anything else to mention. If you want to watch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/KelbyMG. That's it. If you'd like to drop by, hi.